Well, July is Pride Month here in San Diego, and this morning we're talking about some of the specific financial needs of the LGBTQ plus community. Here to talk more about how you can secure a strong financial future, we have Melissa Gonzalez, who is a financial advisor with Northwestern Mutual. Good morning to you, Melissa.
Good morning.
Thanks for being with us.
Absolutely.
I want to start off with just asking in general, with it being Pride Month, with a lot of people, in San Diego for Pride, what are the specific needs of the LGBTQ community?
Yes, the first one that comes to mind is long-term care planning. As we age, long-term care just becomes more relevant. And as LGBTQ plus individuals oftentimes don't have kids of their own, they really don't have folks that will take care of them as they age in that stage of life. And then the other is that they can be estranged from their families. So it's just very imperative to start early, to start planning for a long-term care event. Then the other one that's really important is family planning. So for example, there are additional medical costs in the six figures,
Right.
Additional medical costs associated. And then oftentimes it's overlooked that there are additional legal fees that an LGBTQ plus individual or couple needs to consider.
I guess that these are all kind of ideas that, a lot of minorities face the similar burdens of financial planning in general. And when you look at the LGBT community, like you said, it's not, of course, a guarantee that they're going to go through any of these struggles, but there is a higher likelihood that they may face one or more of those same burdens. And I mean,
Exactly.
they're all things that cost a lot of money, sometimes upwards of six figures, whether that be legal fees, whether that be adoption or surrogacy. Like you said, if you don't have family members who are able to help you for retirement or beyond. So when LGBTQ individuals or couples are getting their paycheck, how do they start that planning process?
Yeah, absolutely. One quick thing is to start a budget. Really understanding what comes in every single month, what comes out every single month is really foundational to a sound financial management. Another is to start an estate plan, have a healthcare directive, a power of attorney, ensure you have a will set up, and really to ensure that when you pass away, your wishes are met and are honored. And then the other that's really important is having a safety net or having an emergency fund. LGBTQ plus individuals often face workplace discrimination. And what that means is that it can affect their compensation and it can affect their work, which of course affects their finances.
Right. They can be making less. It can be harder for them to secure housing. I mean, a lot of these issues are issues that, like we said, affect everyone. And it is hard to think about dying. It's hard to think about financial insecurity, about not having enough money when you get older. Why is it important to think about it when I could easily say, I'd rather not.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a simple way to look at it is the best thing to do is to start early. The earlier we start, the longer you have your funds or your money to grow, and that's where compounding interest comes in. But I have never met a client that said that they wish that they didn't start earlier.
Right.
And the longer we wait, the harder it becomes to really reach those financial goals, whether they're short-term or long-term.
And that would be, I imagine, having a IRA or some sort of retirement plan, maybe health savings account, all those kinds of things. A safety net for yourself, like an emergency fund, would that tie in?
Exactly. So for LGBTQ plus individuals, we typically recommend 6 to 12 months of an emergency fund or some type of safety net. Oftentimes for, I'd say, your typical American, it's 3 to 6 months, but because of that workplace discrimination, we recommend a higher amount for LGBTQ plus professionals.
Only about 30 seconds left. People at home might be saying, I want to find a financial advisor. Northwestern Mutual can help with that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's really important to ensure that you're connecting with an advisor that's one, LGBTQ plus themselves, or an ally that has experience with working with LGBTQ plus individuals and couples. And then the other is, the reason is to ensure that you're walking into a safe environment as you're having very intimate conversations about your finances.
Before we go, can you remind us of a website, how people can contact you?
Yes, absolutely. So you would go to northwesternmutual.com. You can locate several advisors across the country. And of course, you can look me up, Melissa Gonzalez.
Awesome. All right, we're back after this quick break. Stay with us.